Hey guys, and today Sean and I are going to do the review which is between Geelong and Collingwood at the MCG. Collingwood home by 48 points in a dismal display. But the headline is Pies cook the Cats season. Officially, it's over.
Yeah, absolutely done, mate.
And it was even more over when Adelaide smashed West Coast.
Yeah.
Well and truly done, regardless of this result, as it turns out to be. But, mate, the performance just wasn't there, and you went to the game. You've got plenty of thoughts for us tonight. How did you see it?
I don't know why I'm smiling, because I'm really angry.
Imagine if we did this after the game, we would have been absolutely livid.
I was absolutely fuming, but it's as a disgusting and pathetic effort I've ever seen, to be honest.
Just look at that, guys.
And that's not knee-jerk, just what we had to play for and what they didn't have to play for. And Menzel as well. It was just absolutely pathetic, that first half. The second half was better. They tried and actually had a bit more enthusiasm and effort and system. Not to say they didn't try, but they were just awful. Just terrible.
Yeah, there's a few words for you, synonyms.
What's new? Losing clearances and contested ball. There's nothing new there. We are slow. We looked so slow, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. The marks were astounding, according to Channel 7.
The uncontested marks are unbelievable. We just couldn't keep up with them. We're too lazy to keep up with them.
Yeah, who knows what it was.
Did we think it was going to happen? I got no idea. But when Clyke was laid out, I said to Dad, gee, we're in for a big win here.
A big win, yeah.
I said, I can't see them having enough weapons. The only weapons I felt they had were their small forward line, which did hurt us.
Yeah.
We are so slow in defence in particular. I looked back at one point and the back six was something like Lonergan, Taylor, Mackie, Enright, Kelly was down there and Buse. That's slow, mate. That is just so damn slow.
Gosh, yeah.
When the ball hits the deck, we're just toast. It happened time and time again.
Yeah, I can't disagree.
It was just so disappointing knowing what we had to play for, and then you see them just hands on knees, heads down at half time. It's just horrific stuff. So I was really disappointed. In the end, come Sunday, we couldn't have made it anyway with Adelaide playing brilliant footy, but it was just such a disappointing way to, officially end our season.
Yeah, for sure.
And it raises a lot of question marks. I'll handball it off to you with a few of your thoughts. I've got a couple I might save player-wise for the chopping block.
Alrighty.
What do you reckon, mate?
On my thoughts on the game or
on the
players?
Game, where did we go wrong?
Yep, okay. I thought you were going to mention the senior guys, but that's okay. Lots went wrong is the simple answer, but it was such a horrific display, as we keep saying. We didn't really show up, I thought. And I've wrote in the inbox with Nick, once Barker kicked that goal, I just said, it's game over. I mean, there was only 29 at that stage, but it was just the manner and the way they were playing. And honestly, this is what I expected Collingwood to do to us early in the year, because I know that if they play this brand of footy, we can't match it. But to put it simply, it was a 2010 prelim final replay. It pains me to say that. The scoreline for that game was 7 goals 2 to 1 goal 1, so there was one behind the difference.
Yeah.
Hence, being basically a replay, and 7 points the margin overall being the difference in between the final two margins.
No, that's a fair point.
They basically reversed the result from earlier in the year, quite crazily, but they did it. Just out-hunted us, dominated everywhere in the midfields. Did they even see it? Like, I was just looking at how good their midfielders were going. Like Tagoe, Sidebottom, Pendlebury, Swan, if he still plays in the midfield. Crisp and Taylor Adams, they just all got so much of the footy. I'm like, I just feel like I haven't seen Guthrie or Selwood really get the ball, Duncan and Caddy were both out, so that makes it even tougher. And I didn't see Kelly get a great deal of it. I'm pretty sure he was playing in the midfield. It's tough to really know. The times went back.
Yeah, he certainly early on he did. Yeah.
And our midfield just didn't really get their hands on it, and the fact theirs was dominating, and it just never looked like it was going to turn around, and obviously it didn't in the end. But I'd have to say, mate, basically all our veterans looked very slow, sloppy, and played disappointing. Pains me to say it.
Yeah, I mean, it was an eye-opener, wasn't it? I mean, Jimmy Bartel, it's sad to say, that was one of the worst games I've ever seen play.
Yeah,
Kelly was just, I mean, he must be...
He got a bit of the pill. He got a bit of the pension. He got a bit of the pill. Bartel also, I think he had like 17 handballs and 6 kicks or something like that. That's just... And that was sort of how we played all night. But yeah, Kelly, there was just times where he just made bad errors.
Yeah, just not wise decisions. Mackie is such a loose checker of players. I mean, he had a lot of the ball, but defensively he was poor. Tom Lonergan is a guy I want to raise.
Yeah, these last few weeks.
I reckon there was everyone in the crowd for Geelong's sake when they saw Cloak out going yes. Everyone in Geelong's team going yes.
Yeah.
Bar Tom Lonergan. I reckon he lost his match-up. He was only going to play on Cloak, and he had no idea. He looked terrible. He had 20 touches. That's his fourth most in his career, and I reckon it was by design because he turned it over. It was so slow hand to foot.
Say he had 20 touches.
I'm pretty sure he had 20 touches.
Okay, yeah.
And he just turned the ball over. We know he's not a great user of it. I reckon the Pies deliberately stood off him if he was in the zone, let him get it, and he turns it over more often than not. But
Intriguing concept.
it makes him look slightly one-dimensional. I mean, he's a great player, but, you know, when...
Stopper.
Yeah, when that gorilla forward goes out and he doesn't have a match-up, well, he doesn't really have another option in his game.
Yeah, well, that's it. Gee,
which is a concern.
It was a blessing in disguise, having Cloak out, because he would have probably had his number done. But the only real positive, I won't even mention as a positive, but it's another negative. It was mental or nothing.
Yeah.
I felt early on, and for most of the night. Only one that really showed spirit and almost cared.
And Menzel is an enormous positive out of the game.
He is, yeah. So it's a negative underlying with a massive positive of having played for 207 weeks, 1,450 days, all these random stats. But did you want to?
Well, he was just
on?
amazing.
Yeah,
I mean,
I couldn't believe it.
He was so much better than everyone else on our team. It was shocking in that first half.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. He's playing better than everyone else.
It's an indictment on the whole team. That's what it is. I mean,
Gary Lyons come to town here.
I just don't know how else you can say it. I mean, this guy's been dying to play footy. I mean, when he kicked up some of those goals, I was yelling out, take a leaf out of this man's book because
absolutely.
No one else looks like they care as much as he does. So,
I mean, his first two goals, or all his goals were great, but his first one perfect. His second one was mint. I thought.
Yeah,
he just
straight through.
It was just such a straight kick and a strong kick, and I loved it. That's probably about all I liked out of the game.
Me too. Yeah, it's fantastic.
People mentioning about the era's done for Geelong, and it's been done since 2012, just to let you know. Competitive in 2013, but yeah, just to keep everyone level-headed there.
That's right. This is a new crop of guys trying to make their way. It's not the premiership team anymore. It's
definitely not.
We've made that clear at times, but yeah, first time missing finals since 2006, so bad ends, that's for sure.
And there's been so many things we've said this year that hasn't happened since 2006, and it's almost replicated back to 2006 in a way. So so much sort of expected, but so little delivered in a way.
Yeah, it's a massive low point in the club of recent times, past decade.
Definitely.
Let's say. I mean, 1 minute we're looking at can we finish 8th, and now we're saying, well, maybe we'll finish 12th. I mean, I don't think we're a finals team after Friday, but I certainly think we're better than 12th, but it just underlines how close the competition is.
Yeah, that's right.
Look, now that we can't make it, let's hope we do finish 12th, let's be honest, and get a better pick.
Because the pick.
It doesn't matter much if you finish 11th or 12th. I mean, I'm not going to be celebrating if we finish 11th.
I won't be either, mate.
Yeah, so
definitely
let's
not.
Get an extra selection up.
Yeah,
on the draft.
On the draft, perfect. Two quick final points. Disposal was shocking. I think we've already said it, but anyway, I've made a whole point about it.
And kick to handball ratio too.
I think we had 40 more handballs or something along those lines. It was not good. And Jimmy Bartell, we raised him up earlier. He's not a defender. Why are they playing him there? And
you've said that before as well.
I think I said it the other week, maybe against the Saints, but I don't know why we need him there in the first place. He's not a quick defender. He's not going to shut them down. We're struggling in the midfield for options. What on earth is he doing down back?
And he's playing midfield pre-season.
And he was playing there pre-season, tearing it up.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I just don't get it. But no Mitch Duncan either, mate. Calf injuries are never a week. It's just a load of bogus.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen. So they miss Caddy a lot too. Which I think
got him on the sheet as well. Don't know what happened to him. A bit of an injury against the Saints, was it?
I think it was a knee.
Okay, probably resting him or something. I don't know. But do you have any other points, mate? There's lots and lots of points.
I think I'm done, mate. I've got a couple of guys in the gun for the chopping block.
Oh,
but
exciting!
Yeah,
get around it.
One man in particular.
Intriguing scenes. All right, we got the votes, even though we don't want to give them out.
Yeah, well, the 3 was quite easy, wasn't it?
Pretty romantic, I thought.
Yeah, Daniel Menzel, how good it was to see him back, and he was, as we said, by far our best player. And I thought the 2 votes was Mark Blitzarves. I think he tried hard all night and won a bit of the ball and really battled and showed heart and just kept going, which was great to see.
That's what we need.
And another great story in him as well. And the 1 vote I gave to Jake Kolodjasny. I thought his timing on the fist is fantastic when he comes in from the side, and even in the contest is great, which is a good sign of a very good defender. Starting to win a little bit more of the ball, which he's not going to be a Alex Rance rebounder, I don't think, but
intriguing. I reckon he's a slight chance.
No, well, let's hope so. At this stage, I'm just happy that he can shut the guys down, which he seems to be doing quite well. So
that's it.
One for the future, as we've said before. So they're my votes, mate.
Well done.
How'd you see it?
Similar.
Yeah.
Usually it's similar.
Yeah.
The 3 votes to Daniel Menzel, the romantic story of the night, and probably the only romance for any cat. That's what I would have thought. 20 disposals, 4 marks, 4 goals. He was just clean from start to finish, I thought, and played with real spirit and real heart. And gosh, he's just so good to watch, isn't he? Those goals were just exciting. He's a bit of a Mitch Duncan type, and I think they may have even been from the same draft. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think so, 2009.
Yeah.
Yep, perfect. Yeah, because Menzel debuted against the Dogs in 2010, so very good. Mark Blitzar's got the 2 votes, 27 touches, 7 marks, 7 hits, and also 7 tackles.
Yeah, nice.
As you said, just slogged it out on a very difficult night, and probably one of those players to put his hand up, I guess. So there you go. On your Blitz, he's had a fantastic year, really come of age. And the 1 vote to a man you just chopped before, Andrew Mackie. He got the 25 disposals, 4 marks. He actually had more kicks than handballs, which is good. I won.
Yeah.
And I felt, he's deserved a vote in the last few weeks, and he played reasonable. His run and carry and drive it's needed most of the time, and I thought he went okay. I mean, I don't really know who else I'd mind. Stevie J was decent with the 23 touches and maybe a goal, but I don't think he'll be playing next week. Well, I definitely don't think he'll be playing next week.
Yeah, it's a tough call in regards to suspension.
Yep.
Yeah, who knows?
It doesn't look good.
Flip a coin, but yeah, I only chopped Mac on his defensive aspect. He was good with ball in hand, that's for sure.
Yeah, I guess you gave him a vote when Brewsty had a few kicked a few on him, but that's all good and well.
Yeah.
But he definitely needs to patch that area up.
He certainly does.
For a 2-year contract, apparently that's the talk on the street. But chopping block time, match review committee. Yeah,
well, let's face it. Next week's all about the retiring guys. I mean, a few people might have a unwelcome tap on the shoulder in this coming week. I think James Kelly might be playing his last game. Stokes, I think, will come back in, play his last. And you mentioned Stevie J in a bit of hot water. I personally think he'll get off that. The match review panel have been pretty lenient a lot of the time on decisions. And maybe a touch of romance a la Nat Fife. So you never know, but
hopefully.
Yeah, and look, would you play Duncan? Would you play Caddy? I think we agree. Why would you really? Maybe throw a George Holland-Smith out there. Or
give Georgie a go, yeah.
Jordan Kunigo, if you really got excited. He's had a couple of good weeks in the VFL and building.
Just do the Freo, put in a B team.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing next week, apparently, mate. That's the...
okay.
Yeah, it's coming up on Fox Footy feed.
Yeah, so. There you go. Ross Lyons style. But,
he loves it.
Shane Kirsten, I think, will probably get a game for Walker. Really disappointing Walker, and he seems to be the first guy to really get a flick. I mean, there are a lot of guys who are disappointing Friday night, and he just gets handed the red vest. Disappointing.
Okay,
on his behalf, so.
I can't remember who got it, but now I do.
Yeah, so, and I didn't think he was playing that bad. I mean, he was playing well, let's be honest.
Yeah, mental.
Yeah, aside from mental,
of
course. I don't think I'm missing anyone in particular. I think, as I mentioned, Gregson and Lang might make way for, say, a Stokes, just to give them that send-off and things like that.
Definitely,
so from a player aspect, there you go. But the man I have in the gun is Chris Scott. And I'll try to not dabble on about him too much. But
Scotty,
he's got to come under a little bit of heat, no doubt. I think he needs to be looked at. Not sacked, but he's got to be looked at, because I think Scotty's a great player manager, great for the club.
Spokesperson.
Yeah, nice spokesperson, has good player relationships and staff relationships. But I'd say he's a bottom 4 coach in the league on match day.
Intriguing.
Consistently out-coached, We've seen it in finals in the past. We've seen it in isolated incidences in the past this year and other years. And just look back to Friday night. Swan goes forward, and we just had no answer for him. And he dominated until he had the injury. And Pendlebury was so obviously playing off the pack in a sweeper role. And we just almost let him do as he plays. He had 11 touches in the first quarter at 100% efficiency. And we just seemed to have no answer. I mean, he just seems to almost, like, checkmate, and then you move your king. Checkmate, move your king. He's always a step behind, playing reactive to the other coach at times. So
it's not what you want to. That's not the position you want to be in.
No, it's not. So I just think he's got to be looked at. And I like Chris, and he's in a tough spot at the moment. Really, I mean, taking over what was an amazing team.
Yeah, it's lots of question marks.
Transitioning. But the honeymoon period is over after the 2011 Premiership.
I hope so.
That's gone. I mean, he's got to start to be heavily looked at. So I don't know if you have any extra thoughts on that, but I've been really disappointed with some of his match day stuff. Tactically.
Yeah, I think you've covered it pretty comprehensively there, matey. But I just wish he'd just be a bit more competitive against any normal coach, I guess. But yeah, he's a great at speaking. I'll give you that. But he really does sort of need to, I don't know, tinker around with a few things and just be a bit more innovative. Basically gifted the flag, it almost seems now. And I guess the big questions are, do we get in a few players that fill roles? But they sort of are there to help us. Are they there to help us to get to our next flag? Help us to be competitive to make finals? Are we bottoming out? I remember you mentioning that in the inbox.
Yeah.
So there's lots of question marks to be raised, and who knows where that'll be. I think next year will say a lot.
That's right, and just, when all's going bad, you look for those guys that haven't stood up before to stand up, and no one did Friday night, really, aside from Menzel, so that's disappointing. So
certainly
makes you question the future without, hitting the panic button. It just makes you wonder.
That's right. Crows next week?
Yeah, mate. I mean,
if that's everything you've got on the chopping block.
I've had my say. I've gone on for too long. Sorry, mate, but
that's all good.
Look at the Crows. What's happening?
Just before we get to that, I was nearly going to just put you in the hot seat and ask who's going to play on next year, but you basically answered it, so it's all good.
That's all right, mate. Almost could warrant another video at times.
Oh, mate, who knows? Alrighty, we've got Adelaide at Simmons Stadium next week. It's not really a big game. Really, we're done and dusted, and whether we have anything to play for or not, whether or not veterans are retiring, Adelaide by 6 goals plus.
Yeah, totally.
And we won't have our best 22 in, which we need for to compete against most teams, it seems. And Adelaide are in scintillating form. They're thrashing everyone at the moment, and no matter where it is.
Totally
Adelaide
agree.
Easily.
Totally agree, mate. You just can't see us performing any better than what we have in the past couple of weeks, because there's no real reason to.
Probably, yeah.
And look, there'll just be hopefully a competitive and hopefully get a good crowd there. If I won't be there, I'll have local footy to cover. Are you on, Connery?
Next week, I'm not too sure yet. But
if you're not, you can go to the game. You can have my seat. But
okay, sweet. With Jeffy boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
No, that's good to hear, mate.
Yeah.
Well,
just decisions made on live video, but
yeah. Well,
yeah, it's slightly disappointing because you'd like to clap off, you would imagine, quite a few premiership stars and stuff, and it probably will be Enright's last game, I reckon, as well.
Yeah, it has to be off field.
Yeah, so disappointing stuff, but Adelaide in hot touch, as you said.
Yeah, I can't see us just shutting down their guns, and if we have enough guns, it will fire. But Simmons not once the place it was.
No, and selection will be interesting too, the way we treat it, and who comes in, whether we throw a different youngster out there, and Jansen's a guy, maybe could get a run.
Give him a go, for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe in the Q&A video, actually, too.
Oh yeah, it is too. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Hashtag shout out to whoever said that question. Could have been Dicko maybe, but we'll see.
Yeah.
That's the review anyway, guys. I think Angela was thinking about an end of season review. Might be a good one, of course. But the big point was, mate, you mentioned to me only recently, to drop from a top 4 to basically 12th in a year is it's pretty big from not that many changes, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, it's a pretty damning stat when you look at it on paper, so yeah, we'll come under the radar.
17 wins to about 10.
Yeah, well, what can you say?
It's a huge drop-off.
We've gone from 0 to 0 pretty quickly in a way. I mean,
the draw hasn't helped, but neither has our team.
No, exactly. So just turn the sights to 2016, eh?
Hopefully it goes alright then.
Yeah, I hope so.
Alrighty, well that's the review from Shorty and myself on the Cats and the Pies, with Collingwood winning by 48 points, too easily in the end for our liking. Gee, it must have been a damn terrible trip up and back.
You go a long way.
Not up, but back.
You go a long way to just get really angry.
Absolutely. Alrighty, that's it from us tonight. Thanks for listening in on the review. Don't forget to check out darijoe. Does a Geelong goal video highlights each week. How many goals we kick, mate? 10 to 12. Not enough to win. It doesn't matter how many we kicked. We didn't get the job done. Don't forget to check out catstars.com.au, who also uploads Cats highlights and our stuff as well. He puts it on his website, so get around him. And don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, share it to your mates, and subscribe as well. It'd be fantastic. Well, mate, thanks for sticking around, guys.
Thanks for joining me, pal.
No problem, mate. Alright, catch you later on, guys. See you all next time.